What, are you trying to order off menu from the Constitution? Oh, yeah, I see you got, what do you got, 2 terms here. But can I get it animal style? What are you going to do, a 3rd term? How does that work exactly?
In a phone call with NBC, Trump saying, quote, there are methods which you could do it, including possibly urging his vice president, J.D. Vance, to run and then cede power back to Trump. The president saying that's one method, but that there are others, too.
Yes. There are other methods. And you tried one a few years ago. There are other methods for staying in power beyond when you are legally allowed to be there. Historically, some of them involve catapults. Although maybe Trump has something more creative in mind with the Vance thing. Have you guys heard of the movie Face Off? Yeah, so here's how it's gonna work. Trump will watch that movie as the military seizes power. Like, what the f? I'm sure at which point Chuck Schumer will say, I will allow it because in the 3rd term, we think his popularity will go down to 30. So aside from the president saying, I'm not leaving, is there any other image of the shambolic state of our democracy, perhaps something that looks like what you might get if you fed the destruction of democracy into an AI meme generator? Oh, right, Elon Musk. Okay. The richest and most fertile man in the world went to Wisconsin, where he came out in a cheese hat before giving million-dollar checks to voters in an effort to influence the Supreme Court race in Wisconsin. Hey, you know what that's about? You know what that's about, Elon? Their culture is not your costume, Musk. You can really get a sense of of its symbolic value. It's still a tricorner, but it's not the same. The process of streamlining our political democracy continues apace. And a couple of months into Trump's second 47 terms, he continues to live up to his vaunted apprentice catchphrase, "You're fired."
More than 1,300 workers now fired at the Department of Education.
The IRS beginning to lay off more than 6,000 employees with Social Security administration.
Cut 7,000 jobs.
The U.S. Postal Service will trim its workforce by 10,000.
HHS will be dropping about 7,000 workers. The Department of Education cut 80,000 jobs.
Administration's defense. It was better for students having affairs in the first place. That's on them. And by the way, do we need a department for that? The layoffs have been harsh, unpredictable, and needless to say, the mainstream media has been outraged.
So what's the end game here? Killing American jobs?
They're risking hurting those hardworking Americans. That bothers me.
You're playing with real people's money, real people's jobs, and real people's lives.
Rooting for Americans to lose jobs.
I'm sorry, that's empathy for Tesla workers. Apparently it's Fox. Those are the only hardworking Americans whose jobs matter. But the question is, with hundreds of thousands of civil servants being often haphazardly fired, is there any corner, no matter how small, of our current government that is safe from Musk's chainsaw of efficiency?
President Trump telling NBC News he has no plans to fire anyone following that controversial Signal group chat.
Yes! Veterans Affairs, Department of Education, USAID, you. Because all is right at the Department of Accidentally Texting War Stuff to Report. But fear not, regular civil service government parasites. Perhaps this incident offers an opportunity for you all to get the kind of job security that clearly doesn't come from the quality of your work, but the assiness of your kisses. So, for instance, this Friday, when you, as a civil servant, have to send in your mandatory email to DOJ listing the 5 things you did that week, you can keep your job by following the same strategies that these careless Snapchatters employed to keep their jobs. Number 1, don't write down, what did I do this week? You know, I took my federal car and went to Hooters and cried there for 7 hours. No. You want to save your job, point the same finger of blame that they did for their indiscretions.
It's important to remember why this powerful action took place in the first place. Because of Joe Biden's incompetence.
The complete opposite approach from the fecklessness of the Biden administration.
In contrast to Joe Biden.
Did something that the Biden administration did not do.
Did the job that Joe Biden wouldn't do.
We take out people that the Biden team never could.
Yes? What did you do this week at work? Number 1. I repaired the damage done by f***ing Joe Biden. How could I be f***ing up now at my job considering how bad Joe Biden f***ed up before? It's not possible. You need to be in your job to repair his damage. You were at the Hooters because Joe Biden wouldn't. Or couldn't rage eat that many wings. All right. Now, you might be thinking, these Doge guys are slicker than that. They're not just going to fall for blame Biden. That's why we hired you. You're sharp. It's not your only move.
If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach bit.
Hillary Clinton's bit bleaching. Who amongst us hasn't tried to bleach our own bits? I think, obviously I'm referring to anuses. So, what are we talking about? Biden doesn't work? Throw a slash. Oh, all right. Number 1, that's where you fill in. Blame Biden gets you 80% home. Hillary drives you the rest of the way in the trunk of her car shouting Benghazi. All right. Now, I know that's a bit of a big swing for your number 1 thing, because here's the problem. Neither Joe Biden nor Hillary probably work in your office, which is why, for the number 2 thing you're going to write to the Doge folks, you're going to bring that finger-pointing technique a little closer to home. The Yemen text group chat understood rule number 1 of self-preservation. Me? No, it was that guy. Because remember, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than your slowest coworker. So, CIA Director Ratcliffe, who are you faster than?
I've understood from media reports the Secretary of Defense has said the information was not classified.
Boom. By the way, nothing like the director of the CIA going, I read in the paper the Secretary of Defense was the guy to blame. I don't get reports, I just read the New York Times. I have no idea. He's blaming the Secretary of Defense. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, what do you say?
I'm wondering if you feel, as the leader of the Defense Department, you have any level of responsibility.
Thank you for the question. I'm responsible for ensuring that our department is prepared and ready to deter and defeat our enemies.
My biggest weakness? I'm glad you asked. I think it's that I rule too hard. I may be too awesome. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, maybe you should have known if this was classified or who was on the text chain.
I defer to the Secretary of Defense and the National Security Council.
Oh! The National Security Council has entered the chat. That's you, Mike Waltz. Do we have ourselves a blame census? J.D. Vance.
Members of the administration, including my dear friend Mike, have taken responsibility for it.
That is the coldest, my dear friend Mike, I have ever heard. Anyway, Brutus, you were saying about your dear friend Caesar? Now, President Trump, do you want to join the pylon?
Mike Waltz, I guess he said he claimed responsibility. I would imagine it had nothing to do with anyone else. It was Mike, I guess. I don't know. I was told it was Mike.
at me. I'm just an innocent passerby. I didn't see the accident, officer, but I got to tell you, it looks like classic Mike to me. Well, there you have it. Looks like the bottle stopped spinning on Mike Waltz. Time for you to take responsibility and French kiss that Doge chainsaw. Unless you've obviously got a more plausible explanation for how a journalist ended up on your incredibly sensitive text chain.
You know, Laura, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Normally, that's a disqualifying position for this administration. But go on.
But of all the people out there, somehow this guy who has lied about the president, and he's the one that somehow gets on somebody's contact and then gets sucked into this group.
It's not somebody's contact. It was your contact. And he wasn't sucked in by unseen gravitational forces. You added him to the f***ing chat. Which brings us to number 2. Number 2 on your Doge list. What did you do this week? I did a ton of stuff. All of it was right until I was tricked by the lamestream media. Can I tell you something? It's very hard to write backwards. All right, that might save your job if you're a low-level staffer. But what if you're the department head and Doge wants to know the 5 things that you did? How are you going to keep your job when it's your name on the bombs? Well, it's step 3. Confidently and definitively admit nothing. Thank you all for coming.
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that. Nobody's texting war plans. I know exactly what I'm doing, exactly what we're directing, and that's all I have to say about that. I noticed this morning, out came something that doesn't look like war plans. And as a matter of fact, they even changed the title to attack plans, because they know it's not war plans.
You get it? We didn't endanger troops in a war plan.
Scions of the 7th
attack plan. Who's the asshole now? You know, he must be so upset that every time he lands, everywhere he goes, the reporters keep finding him at every stop. He's probably like, shit. Did I mistakenly add you guys to my travel group chat? Number 3. What did I do? I would tell you, but you're probably too stupid to understand. But it was awesome. I'm awesome. That's number 3. So now, 1, 2, 3. What do we got? 2 more to go, right? 4 and 5? 60% of your work week is done. We're past hump day and cruising to TGIF. And that sweet government cheese continues to roll in. Maybe by day 4, it's time you stop justifying your actions to Doge and start celebrating your actions.
At the end of the day, what is most important is that the mission was a remarkable success.
What we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission.
The real story here is the overwhelming success of President Trump's decisive military action against Houthi terrorists.
The last place I would want to be right now is a Houthi in Yemen.
Not to be that grammar guy. But a Houthi is not a place. You can't. But the point is, for number 4 on the list, if they're not buying 1 through 3, what did you do this week at the Department of Agriculture? I bombed the shit out of the Houthis. Now, obviously, these strategies may lead to some of your superiors saying things like, so just bombing the Houthis stops the whole problem? Because I think we've been bombing Yemen for decades. Do we have a follow-up plan to that? And will journalists be on that follow-up chain too? At which point, case, we turn to number 5. It's a Hail Mary. And President Trump has spoken about how important it is for this administration to own their mistakes.
We're bringing honor and integrity and accountability back throughout our government. We're going to bring transparency and accountability back to our government. You know the old statement, the buck stops here, right? Famous statement? Well, I can say the same thing, the buck stops here.
Boom, that old Harry Truman chestnut. This is President Trump living those accountability values. Here he is when he was first asked about the Signal chat incident.
I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
I'm sorry, there's a buck now, what? So I was just with you, accountability, and you people bought it. No, my friends. Number 5 is... What? That's the get out of jail free card. When all other justifications fail, you can never go wrong with your last list on your Doge 5 things you did this week should always be, I have no idea what the you're talking about. Hold on, I think I'm getting a call. And Trump has deployed this strategy better than anyone. For instance, when asked if we're actually deporting like gay hairdressers with Real Madrid tattoos instead of Venezuelan gang members, the president stood on that principle.
I don't know. You have to speak to the lawyers about it.
Or how about the Justice Department's bizarre decision to pause its case against Eric Adams if he promised to cooperate on immigration?
I know nothing about it.
Well, okay, but those are just his central policies. Surely the buck literally stops with Trump with the launch of Trump's own crypto coin.
I don't know much about it other than I launched it.
I don't know much about it other than I launched it. President of the United States, I don't know much about it except I launched it. Crypto coin, nuclear missiles, I don't know much about it, I just launched them. Hey, Mr. President, could you take this? Yeah, what should I do with it? Just launch it. You start to wonder, does the buck stop anywhere with this dude?
I don't know when it was signed because I didn't sign it. Other people handled it. I don't know. You'll have to ask them. I don't know what it is, no. I don't know what it is. I heard about it at the same time. Maybe you heard about it. I don't know anything about it. I don't know the situation. I know nothing about WikiLeaks. It's not my thing. I don't know her. I never met her. I have no idea who she is. No, I don't take responsibility at all. I had nothing to do with that.
January 6th? January 6th is like your whole brand. It'd be like the Hawk Tuah girl going, actually, I only do hand stuff. Now you're grossed out. So many things that Trump seemingly has no involvement in. Is it possible he's been severed? Is that what all the choreography and merriment is about? Now, maybe you're saying, hey, let's push an 80. Maybe it's not a matter of trying to shirk responsibility. Maybe he legitimately cannot remember any of this shit.
I have a good memory and all that stuff, like a great memory. I have a great memory. One of the great memories of all time.
Oh. Well, then the only other thought here is that the I don't know, I don't remember is a cynical strategy to avoid the buck stopping anywhere near you and evading accountability at all costs. One answer that
Did I say I have a great memory or one of the best in the world? I don't remember that.
I really do enjoy I follow the Substack, and I read your books. I don't necessarily maybe agree with all of it, but I always find it really interesting in really good faith. This is this idea that on what's the from previous and sort of what that is.
decade, a lot of are we too dependent on China for everything? Can we make computer chips in this country? Markets were perfectly happy. So conservatives are about this, and we have to be prepared to do something about it.
Now, when you say economists today, that is fundamental heresy on, you know, can't do sort of social policy. That is now the new right we do.
Yeah, I think that's right. The new right is saying actually there are some things we really want to win, and
You work with who is considered the avatar of that. Was he open? When did it start to find traction for you, that more activist government sort of idea? When did it start to gain traction?
I mean, for me, it actually started working with then Governor Romney. Like you said, he was conventional in a lot of ways. One of the issues I was responsible for with him was trade policy. And we brought him the very typical, here's what Republicans say about trade briefing. And he said, well, that's fine, but what are we going to do about China? And to your point about all the other conservative economists in the room, what are you talking about? We don't do anything about China. If China wants to send us cheap stuff, thank you very much.
In the meeting, what does it sound like when the monitor the odds? Does it clink? It just feels like one of those
there was the
great coupon.
The gasps can be disturbing.
Yes.
To your point, there's a lot of religious fervor, frankly, on what I would call the old right about some of these ideas. And when someone says something very common sense, like, well, wait a minute, maybe, you know, an authoritarian communist government that's trying to hollow out American manufacturing, like, maybe that's not really free market. Right. I was like, wow, that's a really important point. And I was the one assigned to kind of go off and try to figure it out. And what I discovered was that on the right of center, really going back to the mid-1980s, there had just been no thinking about this. There had been
of protecting that manufacturing base for our industrial center. And then I think in COVID, you saw everyone and went, oh, we don't have lines to make paper masks. Like, we don't have anything. Was that where you saw it really get a foothold?
I think on the right of center, the China problem was active even before COVID. Right. Because I think, one thing, and it's important to say, this is a fairly recent conservative phenomenon. If you go back in the history of conservatism, Ronald Reagan himself, Reagan was a trade protectionist. He basically started a trade war with Japan because he did care about these things.
This was in the days of Japanese car makers who made cars that were cheaper, people were preferring them, they were dominating the market in America.
And Reagan negotiated an outright quota that Japan, not even a tariff, and Japan will not increase the number of cars. And that's why we have American auto industry itself. Honda and Toyota make American cars essentially because somebody like Reagan is going to recognize fair and balanced. But
now, I've read though mixed things about whether or not that 5 years later it actually gave too much leverage. And they got to drive.
Sure. Come. It was an enormous So I think that's the story of what we want to see more of.
And giving the country a resilient government that's using that base and it brings we know they'll work, and that's fair point. One of the interesting things about the Trump administration is that the team he has around him this time on the economic side, right. Secretary of State Rubio, Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent, his chief economic advisor, the U.S. Trade Representative, he's really surrounded himself, I think, with a quite strong team. Thinks does he ever ask that? Question, and that's what I think everybody's waiting on China, when in fact, like, these were corporations seeking lowest water of wages and what they get paid people, and certainly labor can't travel the way that capital does. So, you know, I guess the back to Adam Smith. This is left and right of center. Wrong was to think that's just always the case. By the next guy, and it's not legislation. Is that really an effective for bringing government? I think it would be done through legislation. It's still what you're saying. President Joe Biden essentially or might be flimsier depending on the whim of an executive. Why don't they embrace that in the same way? Doesn't that add to getting the outcome you want, incentivizing, bringing those jobs back? Why is that unpopular on the right? Well, it's only unpopular with some on the right. And I think
Europe is sort of, if done well, a much broader policy that sort of shifts the baseline. And so I think you need that if you want to shift the basic decision-making that businesses are going to make generally. And if there's particular things you really care about, that's where you also want to come in and give them support.
Well, did it surprise you as we talk about China as being sort of this ascendant economic power? And by the way, it's not just the manufacturing. Can't compete, you know.
They get the jobs.
But don't you think we're buying influence? I would say so. The Trump view is they're abusing us and using us. I think the view I have is
On what basis are you saying this is like something about Germany that we can't?
I think it's that there is an element within their society that they've deemed. This is not me saying Germans will do that. This is Germany. This is. I didn't say the leaders of Germany that they have.
I don't think they are. I think leaders of Germany really enjoy spending virtually nothing on their military, while the United States spends roughly 4% of GDP on ours, as we have been doing for decades with other countries in NATO.
So you think they're like freeloading on our military?
There's no question they're freeloading. You can say you like that they're freeloading on our military, but I don't think there's any dispute that that's what they're doing.
I guess I don't understand the idea that they're freeloading and we want each nation state to build up their military to the point, because to me that makes it more likely if you build something like that, it's more likely you'll use it. Now that it seems to be backed by general history. When people rearm, they tend to do it and use it. But I think the idea that Europe needs to, like, I guess what I'm saying is this is a blind investment that's being made with a sledgehammer. If that makes sense.
I think that's a very fair point. I think where we start on I will concede that one to you just to... Yes! My 5-year-old gets 1 point at ping pong every...
See, I'll take that.
Look, the New World Order point that we started with, I think, is very important because what the Trump administration, and I think this is certainly Trump's view, J.D. Vance has spoken about this, Marco Rubio has spoken about this, their view is that this world order we tried to establish in which the U.S. does take on these burdens, and in your view, we benefit from taking on those burdens.
I think it's a mixed bag. I would not say it's purely benefit. I think what we do spend on defense is kind of insane, and to have 850 military bases to project power across the world. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think unleashing those forces through vindictiveness and, like, blaming them for victimizing us is not the methodology. Like everything else, like Doge. I always hate that straw man. Like we go, I don't like the way this is going. Oh, you're not for efficiency. Like that same thing. Oh, you just want Germany to keep freeloading. That's not what I'm saying. And I think it's a misreading of that point and not being fair to the nuance of it. I understand that there can be adjustments in that.
Fucking communist Russia, right? Everything. And so, like, you've had this, like, drilled into your head for your whole life. And now they're telling you that it's happening here. It's like you've been programmed this way for a long time, and that's what it is. Cold War kids? Yeah, in some cases, right? But some of them are too old for that. But the reality is that that's the reason why I think it's happening. I think it's happening because these people, in a lot of cases, don't really understand what's going on in the world. And they just watch mainstream media and they believe everything that they hear on TV. And why do they do that? It's because they're stupid. That's really the reason why. It's not like there's a big, like, fucking, like, oh, no, the real reason is this or that. No, they're just stupid. And so that's it. And once you understand, like, this is the reason why, like, a lot of them, they always get fixated around, like, doing dances and, you know, chants and stuff like that, is they have, like, this energy about it, and it's about it being some sort of, like, an event. It's like an emotional, like, outburst for them, right? They're easily manipulated. They are. They're just stupid. And older generation have wisdom, but they lack understanding of the modern world. I think there's plenty of stupid old people. I don't think old people have wisdom. I think some people do, but that's not necessarily true. There's a lot of people that are just dumb as fuck, man. And like, that's all they are. Some do. Yeah, absolutely. And boomers are not wise. So there's some that are, some that aren't, right? I mean, it's that simple. But yeah, I see this happen, and it's crazy. And they never really stop to think about what they're really trying to do. It's a mob mentality. Yeah, it is. Like, these people are just wild and out. It is. And I guess that, I guess not. Jesus Christ, sorry about this. I honestly, I feel like this is just the way it's going to be. It's their website where their website to sign up to be a protester. Let me see. Tesla protest. Let's see if there's any more of this. Oh, this guy, apparently some other dude got arrested for plowing his car into a Trump supporter. So he's running people over now too. And we can't watch this, right, for the obvious reasons. But so you got this guy, right? I mean, this guy, guarantee he never liked computers. Yeah, he probably never liked computers. And so, of course, this is what happens. Woodlands, Texas. This is it. No Nazis.
I'm buying one more today.
I'm buying one more today. You son of a bitch.
I am buying.
Look at them all.
I am buying one more today.
Look, don't drive swastikars. Oh my God, bro, like, it's always the same people. Every single time.
Losers!
Every time, bro. It's sad. This is making me want to throw a Roman. No, the thing is that these people aren't even protesting against. A parent of mine told their Tesla to protest Elon Musk, so I decided to buy one to even things out. Oh God. And a dumb as fuck. Yeah, this, and people have been doing this like crazy.
Boycott! Boycott! Tesla! Boycott! Tesla! Boycott! Tesla! This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
This is what democracy looks like.
Fire! You say Elon! Fire!
Elon!
Fire! Elon! Boycott! You say Tesla!
Yep. That's just about right. Fuck. Oh man. Oh damn, it's crazy. Yeah, wow. Best country in the world. I don't like what democracy looks like. I'm scared. I guess so. It's cringe as fuck. It's so embarrassing. I don't know how people can do this and not realize how ridiculous they are. I really don't. Like this one. Dude. I'm about to rip my eyes out. I don't know where these people come from, man. I really... Oh, man. I just don't know what to say. Oh, shit. Oh, no. They're on, yeah, bro, like, they're on the retirement home fucking bus. Drop them off in front of the Tesla dealership. Oh, this is so fucking funny, man. Oh, no. This is Normandy? Yeah, exactly. And, well, hey, maybe some of them it is, because they'd be old enough to fucking remember it. What is this? I bet there's another one. I'm actually going to start mentally investigating this connection that I have that Elon Musk is the harbinger of technology. And these people, technology is it's the bane of their existence, right? Like, how many of them do you think know how to use a smartphone? I think probably, if you put all of them together, it's like half of one normal person. All of them? Nope. Nope. You got to admit, though, right? I mean, like, I know what the U.S. demographics are. Like, you know, how much each race and everybody is. Like, isn't it crazy that, like, all these protests are just full of white people the whole time? Isn't it wild that, like, there's such a, like, this is... I bet there are Klan rallies that are more diverse than this. I guarantee you, like, there are probably white supremacy rallies that are more diverse than this. And no, but you can guarantee at least, right, Kanye will be there. That's one. Okay, you got one right there. So they're winning. It's crazy. What are the odds? What are the odds? What are the odds? Really? I have never seen a more more of a racial monolith than the people protesting Elon Musk. Like, BLM was more diverse. I mean, fuck, Charlottesville was more diverse. January 6th was more diverse. Now you want DEI. Yeah, where's the DEI for these protests, guys? I'm not seeing a lot of representation here. I think maybe, you think that maybe they're racist? Maybe that could be it. Bring out a mobile casino? Bro. You bring out, because they love spit. We gotta hit it. Oh my God. Bring out slot machines. Yes, bro, you bring out the slot machines. They get to cook themselves. This is smart, man. This is a really good idea. True, old people love gambling. Yeah, that's smart. Damn. Tesla needs to make slot machines. No, actually, that's a good idea. So, like, Elon, what he could do is he could start making slot machines, and then he could make them and target old people with the slot machines, and that way he could get rid of all these protesters and complainers, right? Because the dumb ones are going to be gambling, right? Because they don't understand the way numbers work and math, and they probably don't even know what a computer is. And so, like, you know, it's like that video, you know, like that shit. And so, yeah, no, he should do that, and this problem will solve itself. The idea to make Elon twice as rich as the second richest person in the world, it wouldn't be close. It wouldn't. Like, no, we gotta. Yeah, this is the thing. You gotta farm them out. Yeah. Yep. America hates Nazis. I bet she felt so good making that poster at home that she bought. You know, she went and bought this at Hobby Lobby. And, like, you know, was like writing it out with her, you know, little fucking markers. Saying, we hate Nazis. Yep. Yep. I need to do some investigation into this idea that the reason this is all just a proxy because of these people don't know how to use technology.
This has got to be one of the funniest things that I think I've ever...
No. This is not... This is... There's no way, right? Like, there's no way this shit happened.
...seen, and I can't wait to show you. So while we are working diligently to put together the first Tesla Shield event here in Columbus, Ohio, I was over on X, and investigative journalist Laura Loomer just posted one of the most amazing things that I've ever seen. So in New York, an organization has been running what they call Tesla Takedown. Well, like Laura Loomer does, she decided to start investigating the people who were behind the organization.
Uh-oh.
And the event that they did yesterday, and as you can see, the event that they're planning on the 29th of March is organized by a guy named Christopher Lee. Yeah, there he is. And in fact, there's a lot of people now that are starting to believe that some of these organizers are in fact Chinese nationals, which adds a whole new wrinkle to the story. But that's not what's funny. So Christopher Lee showed up to the event designed to take down Tesla, driving a Tesla. Yeah, that's right. Christopher Lee, who's organizing the Tesla takedown events, who some believe may be in fact the Chinese nationals, drove his Tesla to the Tesla takedown event. Yeah, there he is. He even has his...
What the fuck, man? What the fuck? How is this happening? How is this real? I don't even understand.
Sticker, look, anti-Elon Tesla Club on his Tesla.
Right.
His Tesla. So in case you were wondering, these people don't give a crap about Tesla. And I'm going to help you understand why they're doing it. And it's really not even about Elon Musk. Elon Musk happens to be the biggest target that they can find.
What is it?
What they're attempting to do is to send a warning to every single person that sits on Donald Trump's cabinet in his administration or could be used effectively to take down the deep state. The goal is to show them that if they can get to Elon Musk and they can destroy his business and they can steal his wealth, then they can do it to anybody.
I think this is true, but I would say that it goes even farther than now. It's not even listening to people in the administration. It's you're trying to make people afraid of supporting a idea or a person by attacking them proactively, right? Yeah, I don't know if we have a word for that.
That's the whole plan of this Tesla takedown. And that's exactly why the American people need to stand up against this fascist attack against Donald Trump and his agenda. This isn't about Tesla. This isn't about Elon Musk. This is about stopping the Trump agenda through fascism. Join us Saturday, the 29th in Columbus, Ohio. And if you don't have one of these events in your area, start one.
It's crazy, bro. Like, this backlash is gonna be wild. Oh, that's a nice car. Damn, is that one of the new, oh, fuck, that's a, what is that fucking car called? It's a fucking, like, what is it? Camaro. There it is, Camaro, I forgot. That's nice. That looks really good. Damn. Damn. Is it Mustang? Yeah. Man, and big balls. Wow. Jesus Christ. You can tell that these are counter-protesters because they have the American flag. Yeah.
Who was the congressman or the representative?
This guy, bro, he is so happy that he doesn't have to arrest a crackhead today. He's like, okay, it's just gonna be a bunch of disorderly, annoying old people. Thank fucking God. Can you imagine how easy this is gonna be? Yeah, he's big chillin'. Easy job? Yeah, the easiest day of his life. Tesla now with white power steering, aka the KKK. Oh God, Project 1939. Make fascism great. Like, I don't know. 1930, yeah, well, no, like 45 because that was great because they lost. 33, 31, 35. Like, 1939. That's the pinnacle, right? That's the top of the pyramid of the food chain. And that's luxury. Yeah, exactly. Like that's whenever I buy like my luxury sweatpants for $8. That's my Gucci. Yeah, exactly. And like if like let's say like Balenciaga sent me a bunch of clothes.
I have taken thy measures, bringer of light.
Like I'm not actually, I wouldn't, because then people would notice and then that would attract more attention to me. So I still wouldn't. But like at the end of the day, I just, yeah, I mean, but like their clothing looks ridiculous. Yeah, maybe like I don't know, like I'm just a fucking African guy. Yeah, I mean, I grew up, I lived in the same house I always lived in. Like maybe if I moved, if I lived in a big house, I'm still gonna be the same guy. I don't know. Like, it's. I just, like, growing up, like, I never really wanted to, be, like, have, like, a bunch of, like, rich, like, people stuff. I thought it was, like, because, like, I thought about, like, a car, because, like, we used to throw rocks at cars in the bus stop, right? Like, dude, I used to, dude, that was my favorite thing. Is, like, I remember I would get a Powerade at 6th period. I would drink that shit all the way down. I'd finish it at the end of school, and I would wait at the bus stop, and I would fill up the Powerade bottle with rocks, and then I would take the rocks out of the Powerade bottle while we were riding home on the bus, and I would give them to myself and my friends, and we would throw them at cars. And I would think to myself, I was like, well, if I hit like a Lamborghini, like that's like probably like a $10,000 repair, right? And so dumb, yeah, I know it's dumb. You shouldn't do that. It's bad. It's a bad thing to do. And but like I did it, and so like I wouldn't want to have that happen. Way more. Yeah, no, I was just, I mean, like I was a dumb kid, right? I mean, like I don't know what to say. So yeah, it's fucking retarded. Bro committing a crime? Yeah, of course. Yeah, we did that shit all the time. Yeah, we did that. We did that every day. Absolutely. Yeah, dumb retarded kid stuff. Yeah, exactly. Like, and by the way, I had kids throw rocks in my car. I was happy. I said, thank God somebody's still doing it, right? People carry on the tradition. That's it. That's what you did back then. Yeah, I don't do it now. Not every day. Sometimes we just scream at the bus driver. We'd scream at the bus driver and sing along with the songs, and just yell at people. Kids are gonna be all right. Yeah, exactly. Giving work to car repair people. Yeah, we're trying to inject the economy with we're trying to put in a you know, like an injection to help it, make it better, give people things to do. Were you on the short bus? No. Actually, we had people that should have been on the short bus on our bus.
They claimed there was 30,000 people, but they got all the cell phone data, and they found out there was 24,000 cell phones. So they fudged it a little bit. That sounds normal. But they also said that a huge number of people had been to 20+ events and a lot of other different, like, progressive events. And it seems like, at least in some of them,
it's a lifestyle for them. It's like a lifestyle. It's like an accessory, conspicuous protest lifestyle. That's what it is.
Sure, they were paying. So they're giving people money to get on a bus, go to this place, here's your sign, go have fun. And so you're doing something different, right? You're pretending that these people are all coming out to see you. But they're coming out to see you because you're giving them money and free food. Right.
No doubt.
And, you know, you're handing out water bottles, and everybody gets excited. Everybody seems like they're kind of a part of the team.
Yeah,
and for a lot of losers, a lot of people that don't have things going well in their life. And like, what do we, you know, I was a loser at many points in my life. Because somebody called me up and said, hey man, you want to make $400? Just go to this Kamala Harris rally. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I will 100% go.
I would too. Absolutely. Yeah, that came so bad. So bad. You want to protest? I was going to ask you to protest before. I'd say yes. $400? Absolutely.
100% go with no. Yeah. I probably think she's cool. Yeah, I'm fine voting for If you found me when I was 21, 100%
exactly.
I would have taken that $400.
Same. Yeah.
They were giving out $1,000 for people to protest. I think it was Tesla. I'm not sure, but I think it was Tesla. So had like the rules of engagement. If someone comes after you, hit them in the body, don't pick up an object unless they pick up an object first. Are you organizing gangs? Like, are you guys paying money for people and literally saying to them, here's what happens if you engage in crime? Like, why is that even on the table? I thought you guys were peacefully protesting. Like,
no, you can't be peaceful. They can't be peaceful because they're right.
Who's going to get how many pro-Tesla?
I'm pretty pro-Trump. I'm paying $1,000. I'll be at a Tesla dealership right now. Yeah.
Fucking
yeah,
hooligans are out there.
I mean, that's a lot.
A bunch of pro-Tesla gang members out there. So what are you going to encounter with this anti-Tesla movement? The police? Like, who's going to stop you from doing? Who's going to engage with you? Like, this is, you're kind of talking in a way that at least puts it on the table that violence might take place. And you're
yeah, and because they destroyed language, now it sort of logically makes sense, right? People are Nazis. If you actually thought they were Nazis, right? Like if you actually thought Nazis had taken...
Well, this is how it works, is that their speech, like, from their perspective, Republican speech is violence. Their speech is resistance. Their speech is speech. Nazis are people who are not seeing their point of view. And saving democracy means setting things on fire when you lose a vote. That's right.
You pick up
you need to subsidize I'd be like, bro, I'd be like, I'm not that stupid. I'll hold the sign, I'll go to the rally, but if I was 21, he says, like, $1,000, I'd be like, this guy's rich. He light his fucking cars on fire, stupid. He's the richest man on earth. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, the Tesla. Like that they have cameras, right? So you can just watch the cameras of other Teslas, and that way you know where you can and you can't be. So why wouldn't you just go and look at the videos of what other people do and be like, okay, well, I can do, if I come from this angle and I don't show my face in this way, I can do it this way. Like, because that's the way I would think about it, right? Like, I would read, like, this is the way I would do, like, a boss, and like, wow. It's like, I would watch somebody else do it, I'd be like, okay. Yeah, so then he moves left, right. That's smart. Yeah, no, that's what you would do. Yeah, of course. The cameras cover the whole outside of the car? Yeah, but, like, if you knew what, there's ways, if you knew, like, where they would come from, you would know where to face away from or where to face towards. Like, that's it. There's plenty of ways to do it, man. And this is it, dude, bro. Oh God, it's nuts. Let's kick Elon and the Teslicles. That's enough. Wow, look, wow. Usual suspects. Anyway, we looked at this for a while, right? Yeah, I think we can move on and look at some other shit.
Huanggang Village in Shenzhen is widely recognized as a wealthy village, and it used to be famously known as the Mistress Village. Back in the day, the village was full of beautiful women. Their boyfriends were mostly businessmen, white-collar workers, and truck drivers who traveled between Hong Kong and Shenzhen. At its peak, Huanggang Village had around 50,000 mistresses. The village was packed with massage parlors, karaoke bars, nightclubs, and other places associated with the sex industry, earning the nickname a paradise for Hong Kongers. However, in recent years, as Hong Kong's economy has declined, the once popular trend of keeping mistresses has gradually faded.
That's surprising. Holy shit, what the fuck? Why would they stop that?
The village is separated from Hong Kong by just a river. Although it's called a village, it's essentially in the heart of the city. This village, with a history of over 700 years, is now known as one of the most affluent urban villages. the village gate is decorated with intricate dragon carvings on stone pillars, with lions standing guard in front, creating a luxurious atmosphere. Even from a distance, you can't help but marvel at the grandeur that sets it apart from other urban villages.
Yeah, this looks really good.
In the 1990s, Shenzhen took advantage of its proximity to Hong Kong, leveraging special policies and incentives.
Where's the
during
mistress
China's
part?
reform and
Okay,
open
it's coming.
era.
Never mind. I was worried.
As a result, a large number of Taiwanese, Hong Kong, and foreign enterprises came to invest and build factories in Shenzhen. With capital flowing in, many investors and business people from Taiwan and Hong Kong followed. Shenzhen, as a special economic zone and the forefront of reform, also attracted thousands of migrant workers, including many young and beautiful girls.
What a surprise.
Rural areas, silent and simple and used to a hard life, easy to get along with. They supporting their families and marriage. At the time, villages and places in Shenzhen were relatively wealthy men from Hong Kong were spending $4,000 to $8,000 to keep a young woman in an urban village.
Damn. And so they just spent that money. Holy fuck. That's crazy. Okay.
Businesses spread throughout Shenzhen. The so-called mistress villages were residential areas where wealthy men kept their mistresses. During China's rapid economic growth, some businessmen and officials were in the outskirts of the city to hide from their lives. These urban villages became a special community and were seen as symbols of indulgent lifestyles. Hong Kong Village was near the Hong Kong port, which was a key crossing point between Shenzhen and Hong Kong. A certain flashy group of people regularly passed through this port. They wore large gold chains, wore open sequins, and spoke Mandarin with a Hong Kong accent. They frequented the most upscale restaurants in Hong Kong Village, often accompanied by young, beautiful women.
This is crazy how popular that shit is over there. I feel like over here it's like way less. It's like way less common. Like nowadays, I feel like nobody really brings this shit up at all. Like maybe every once in a while I'd see this like normalized in like Las Vegas, but I feel like over there it's totally different.
As this lavish lifestyle expanded, certain residential developments in Shenzhen's local district, like Eugene Garden and Jinglu Garden, became known for their high concentration of mistresses. In the mid-1990s, Shenzhen's central area shifted westward to the Futian district, and areas like Changsha Village, Shazhui Village, and Shuiwei Village became favored hotspots for Hong Kongers to hide the mistresses. The widespread and open practice of keeping mistresses was arguably unparalleled in Chinese communities. According to Hong Kong anthropologist Professor Tao Xiaowei,
So one in 6 girls just showed up. These hookers? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would say. as drivers headed to their love nests to meet the mistresses. Damn. Oh my fucking god. It's insane. Yeah, this is... I guess that makes sense.
Back then, diligent Hong Kong truck drivers could earn around 30,000 Hong Kong dollars a month, which was incredibly tempting for young women from other provinces who came to Shenzhen for work. These women, who often worked overtime and only earned around 1,000 yuan a month, were drawn to the possibility of much higher income. What's surprising is that the mistress industry became
just totally fucking normalized. Oh my god.
Some Hong Kong businessmen openly recruit lovers, and the business industry adopted a referral system. They worked to get elected members for some Hong Kong men to recommend them. Were also looking for someone in the mainland. These women, often matched by their Hong Kong friends, mistresses of Hong Kong truck drivers. The men would rent a place with the villa and they would rent 4 to 5,000 Hong Kong dollars a month for living.
All right.
Consisted of shopping, going around with their friends, and comparing who received the money from their business. Businessmen, especially those involved in the jewelry and clothing trades, also followed this trend and started maintaining second homes in Shenzhen. Over time, not only rural women, but also female university students became a primary source of mistresses. It was a well-known fact that female university graduates faced employment difficulties, especially since many companies discriminated against women. Some of these students, burdened by student loans and struggling with financial difficulties at home, felt immense pressure to find a job quickly. If they couldn't, the impact on them was significant. Whether they were working-class women or university students, their goal was the same: to make money quickly, improve their lives, and support their families. When they couldn't achieve that through conventional means, becoming a mistress seemed like a natural alternative.
What a surprise. What a fucking surprise. Yep. I feel like this is what happens any time. Oh, if it is AI, somebody reading the same way. Yeah, I think this is pretty normal. People do this in every culture. This is super fucking normalized. It's not even a question. When they're working, they look fucking miserable. The whip is always near. Yeah, that's probably true. It's the same thing. I mean, OnlyFans is it's a different way of this, but I feel like it's pretty much the same.
At that time, the mistress industry in Shenzhen had already become well-organized, symbolizing a certain sense of fashion and experience.
Is it bad or good? Is it bad to have a mistress? I think it's probably bad. Yeah, I do think it's bad because like then you're gonna have a lot of kids, and then like the kids probably born, and then they don't have a dad around. Good for the culture. Yeah. Sounds good.
Businesses in Shenzhen generally fall into 2 categories. The first is the long-term type, where one is not older, and the The second was the short-term type, where the relationship only lasted about a year or so, resembling how other cohabitative situation.
See, that's what's crazy to me about it. That are like basically paid girlfriends. People hook up to OnlyFans. I feel like that happens a lot with like Instagram because like it's super fucking common.
Typically, when the man stopped showing up, it was due to the woman would break up with him. So according to a report by TV, there were as many as 50,000 mistresses in Hong Kong Village alone. Other areas like Bagualing, Honggui Road, and Xinzhou were also densely populated with mistresses. In other parts of Guangdong, such as Zhanglutou in Dongguan, the number of mistresses reached a peak of 120,000.
In one fucking place? This is insane. If I have to up to there, I need to move there? This is insane. Pay me to exist? I know. This is insane.
It's estimated that there were at least 300,000 mistresses in Shenzhen. Many Hong Kong men chose to have their mistresses settle down in these areas, and if you talk to these women, they would all say the same thing. In a couple of years, my child's father will arrange for his Hong Kong residency. Adi, a young woman from rural girl, Hubei, saw her allowance from her Hong Kong boyfriend increase from 8,000 yuan a month to 20,000 yuan. She kept herself well-groomed, visited beauty salons for manicures, enjoyed afternoon tea, played mahjong with friends, and spent her evenings watching movies or chatting online. She had a comfortable place to live, and her job was simple. She only needed to spend 4 or 5 nights with her boyfriend each month. Every time.
Wow. What a fucking job. That is crazy. Oh my god.
He would also give her gifts like bags, shoes, or cosmetics. For Adi, who had never finished middle school and lacked any real skills, this lifestyle left her feeling content. One girl once said, "Working in a factory means laboring for over 12 hours a day, barely earning a few hundred yuan. Living with a Hong Kong man means no work and no worries about life. What's wrong with that?" As
Yeah.
a phenomenon of
True. That's the thing, is like a lot of them, they probably don't have anything else that they're gonna do. So yeah, they're just like, you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Yeah, and also like they probably make way more money doing that than anywhere else. I feel like that's like it is a very, very true thing. My 4-pound Billy Sue, Purple Hair America, expect the same. Maybe, right?
became more common, the mistress villages flourished, coinciding with Hong Kong's golden age of economic growth. The community in these villages became increasingly complex, with relationships becoming more transactional. Take Xiaoling, for example. She stopped her education after middle school and heard that she could make good money in Shenzhen. To support her family, she followed her fellow villagers to Guangdong to work. At first, she worked in a factory and lived in a dormitory, but soon she moved out. She met a wealthy Hong Kong businessman who claimed to be single and said that she was lonely from working abroad.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Yep, there you go. Take the call? I guess so. Yeah, women have live easy lives? Bro, come on. Asa wants to change jobs? Yeah, where is this again?
Xiaoling, young and inexperienced, fell for his sweet talk and became his mistress. Later, she found out that he had a wife and daughter in Hong Kong.
That's never happened before.
Even though she realized
Yeah,
that
that's
she had been
never
deceived,
happened.
she couldn't give up the comfortable life. The businessman promised Xiaoling that if she could give him a son, he would give her a lump sum of 300,000 yuan, a huge amount at the time. The condition was that the child would be raised by his wife in Hong Kong, and Xiaoling would not see the child again. If it were a daughter, she would receive 80,000 yuan, but the child would still go to the wife. Xiaoling accepted, reasoning that even after 10 or 20 years of hard work, she couldn't earn that kind of money. After Xiaoling gave birth to a daughter, the businessman quickly arranged to send the child to Hong Kong. It wasn't until Xiaoling experienced the pain of being separated from her child that she realized what sort of deal she made. She begged the businessman to let her keep the baby until the child's first month, but he refused and transferred the promised money to her. He also told her,
What a surprise. What a surprise. Yeah, shit start. No, this is how it is. Yeah, the wife knew. I guess so. It's got to be trafficking. That is actually like, so that's another big reason why a lot of this stuff can be really bad, is that the overlap between this and trafficking, huge fucking overlap. Massive fucking overlap. It's not even quite, it's so bad.
to disappear immediately.
Especially like, and it gets, see, like it gets worse and it gets better in some cases when it becomes legal, right? Because like the people that are doing it in a way worse way when it's legal, but or sorry, when it's illegal, but there's probably a lot more people doing it whenever it is legal.
Warning that if she continued to bother him, her reputation would be ruined. Xiaoling then realized that she would never see her child again, and the businessman ruthlessly abandoned her. Many women in the mistress villages had experiences similar to Xiaoling's. Some didn't have children, but their stories often ended in sadness. After China joined the World Trade Organization, it became closer to Western countries, and the incomes in mainland China started rising. Real estate prices continued to climb, and the pressure of high costs discouraged Hong Kong men from keeping mistresses in Shenzhen. Nowadays, Hong Kong...
They're getting expensive, bro. That's the hoflation right there. Oh my god. Do the children are used organs? Yeah, exactly, right? No, it's really fucking scary. It is. Like, that's why it's bad. Poor women, consequences for action about men working 12 hours a day. Well, I think that, like, you can notice that, like, something like this is bad while at the same time saying, you know, like, it's obvious that, you know, like, there's a bad component to it as well.
Hong Kong's economic growth has been dragged down by the mainland's economic slowdown and tensions between China and the U.S. Foreign investments in Hong Kong are rapidly withdrawing, and Hong Kong's status as an international financial center continues to decline. Former mistresses either sell off their possessions and look for other wealthy men to support them, or return to the workplace. They are like a form of property attached to their patrons, always
You are
at risk of being
returned.
discarded. One woman who had been a mistress to 4 different Hong Kong men said, "Now Hong Kong men have no conscience when it comes to mistresses, because..."
I wonder why. Yeah, there you go. Back to factory. Yeah, how's getting expensive? It is. Yeah. What the fuck do you expect? Exactly. Women on only wage making good money. It's pretty bad. I think it's probably more complicated than that. I think it's like it's the people that come from villages that didn't have other opportunities that would come and take advantage of this because of that.
Because of the economic downturn, they don't offer lifelong support anymore. It's become more like a monthly rental arrangement. In recent years, you hardly see Hong Kong drivers in Huanggang anymore. Industry insiders say that Hong Kong drivers can no longer afford to spend money in the mainland. Their annual income has dropped to around 200,000 Hong Kong dollars, which doesn't match the rising cost of living. It's hard enough for them to visit their mistresses twice a month, given they spend over 12 hours a day on the road. Many rely on garlic to stay awake just to maintain their income.
What the fuck? That's insane.
Hong Kong's truck drivers are just one example of industries that were once thriving but have now fallen into decline. Today, Huanggang Village has lost its former bustle. If you walk around asking about mistresses, only the older generation still remembers the old stories. Most people have forgotten the secrets of the past. Standing at the archway of Huanggang Village and looking out, the streets are now filled with busy office workers. The mistress village has become a thing of the past. Economic factors have played a role in the rise and fall of the mistress villages. Among Hong Kong's economic decline, Shenzhen's mistress villages are gradually being swept away by the tides of change. One could say that while Hong Kong is in decline, Shenzhen's future may not be so different. The cost of maintaining...
I feel like that's what happens in any sort of like big country like that, or any big area like that. It happens a lot. They aren't going to elaborate further than that. Yeah,